Hello, everyone. Well, I see a lot of familiar faces, and this makes me so happy. For 6 years, all of your support. I just can't be happier. And I also see a lot of new faces. So I'm going to tell you about our program. So I am the Director of International Operations. It all started 6 years ago when I was just the Director of Russian operations. So today I will tell you what we are doing in Russia and other Eastern European countries. And unfortunately, my topic is the need. It's not as much entertaining as the previous topic of the experience by Chuck and Bruce was, and I wish it was that entertaining. But who, if not me, will tell you the true story, right? I'm Russian, I'm from there. I went to all of those orphanages, so I'm going to tell you why. So we are often asked, why should we support Allies in Youth Development? Why is our work so important? Well, the answer is simple. It's the statistics. The statistics are shocking and horrifying. The average life expectancy of children who age out of the system without special training, with no assistance, is under 30 years. These children lack basic life skills. There is an absence of social programs which would teach these children the necessary skills to live on their own. Orphanages in Eastern Europe are often described as small prisons. Prisons in miniature. And this is the only life that these children know. It's a total and lifelong immersion in a system in which these children are just faceless numbers, deprived of any rights. These issues were born on the ruins of former Soviet Union. So we're not talking about one orphanage, one city, or one region. We're talking about the problems of dozens of countries and millions of children whose lives, whose destiny mean nothing in their culture. Many of these children commit suicide by the age of 25. Others become alcoholics, drug addicts, prostitutes, criminals, or be taken by sex and labor traffickers. Young women become pregnant, and the cycle starts all over when their babies are either taken from them or they willingly give them back to orphanages. Just yesterday, in one article, I read, if former parents or former orphanages or orphan children become parents, only 10% of them will keep children. 90% will be future orphans in orphanages. Isn't it sad? So, what exactly do we do? We create centers in Russia, Moldova, Romania, South Ossetia, Ukraine, where we train and empower university students as volunteers. So they learn how to change the tragic life path of orphan children. We understand that these children, they need help of people there on everyday basis. So foreigners coming once a year for a couple of weeks only have a limited impact. We're still very, very grateful to many of you who have visited, who've been with us on volunteer trips, but it's still once or twice a year, right? For a week, sometimes 2 weeks. So we train volunteers who live there. The volunteers start visiting their local orphanages on a regular basis, celebrating birthdays, other Russian, Ukrainian, Moldovan holidays. They chat with kids, they interact with them, they spend time playing board games, playing volleyball, basketball, soccer together. They teach them how to play other games. They bring clowns. They have concerts with, for example, famous Russian cartoon characters. They organize puppet shows, bubble shows, and a lot of other fun activities. But they also become very responsive to the needs of those children. With the help of Allies in Youth Development, volunteers bring shoes when children are barefoot. They bring toiletries and hygiene products when children don't have them. They bring books and school supplies when the academic year starts. So volunteers become mentors for those in need. They start bringing specialists. They bring psychologists to help children with their behavior, their emotions, their psychological traumas. So all of these activities are crucial in order to establish a trustful relationship between the orphan children and volunteers. Building trust is crucial. It builds the foundation for life skills training that is needed with orphans who have been abandoned and forgotten. We encourage children to not only face and accept their past, but also to be prepared for their future, to fight for their lives. The mentors teach them basic life skills: how to handle money, how to cook, basic hygiene, and how to interact with those outside the orphanages. In Russia and Eastern Europe, orphans, I don't know if you know that or not, but they are allowed to get free higher education, including tuition, room, books, and a stipend for food and other needs if they pass the entry exam. But unlike here in America, where students can take these tests as many times as needed, they have only one chance. They only get that one chance to pass the test at the end of the academic year. So children do not know about that. Nobody talks about that to them. No one helps them to get ready for that exam. We not only reveal the truth, we help them to be prepared for that exam. We developed a tutoring program in which university professors teach orphan children online. How cool is that? University professors in Siberia, in Omsk, which you just heard about, right? They can teach children all over Russia in the orphanages. So, the program has demonstrated excellent results. But if, for example, 30% of the graduates can enter the universities because of their intellectual potential, right? Not all children are capable of going to universities after their 9th or 11th grade at the age of 17. What about those others, 70%? So just a few years later, a couple years later, we found the solution. We started a professional orientation for children as early as 7th grade, letting them see what their choices are, letting them choose according to their abilities and talents. So we take children to master classes of famous chefs, bakers, welders, hairstylists, landscape designers, truck drivers, clothes makers, preschool and kindergarten teachers, sports coaches, and many, many other professionals. And what you heard from Chuck, what's happening in Voronezh, that was our professional development, professional orientation, where children now want to be the best in those spheres. They have competition. They go from different regions. They want to be the best teacher or the best hairstylist or baker and so on. So now their life trajectory is changed forever. These orphans are not in the streets. They are surrounded not by marginal and criminal elements, but by university and trade school students and professors. They also have a goal now to get their associates, their bachelor's, their master's degree, or trade school certificate. So this enables them to get a good job and to have a chance at a happy and successful life. Before the Allies program, and I'm talking about this development orientation, right? The whole 9th grade of one orphanage would go to the same vocational school. For example, College of Transportation. And college in Russia, it's a trade school. It's not like here, higher education. So regardless of their skills or desires for career choice, most of them would be miserable because it's not their vocation, right? It's not their calling. These children, disappointed and weak, very quickly become easy prey for the traffickers, pimps, and other criminals. Prepare for that. There were instances when the orphanage authorities in Moldova would sell the graduate girls and boys to the traffickers as soon as they leave the institutions. Children do not know neither the words nor the concept of human trafficking. They do not know they could become slaves and they could be beaten into submission and become toys and profit for evil people. Allies developed an anti-human trafficking program in Moldova, which, by the way, supplies more sex and labor slaves to Europe than any other country. We need to be able to develop this program in other areas. We need to stop them. Unfortunately, there is no foster system in Russia, Ukraine, or Moldova in which children can get life and social skills in small, caring groups like foster families. That is why Allies in Youth Development is absolutely needed. We do everything we can, long before orphans leave the orphanages, to help these children to be prepared for their future life after they graduate. We give them the right to be children, to be students, to be professionals, to be humans. Because of the incredible help of the supporters, and many of them I see in this room, Allies could send hundreds of orphan children to Christian summer camps. So we give them the right to be believers. Thank you very much.